I think that the country and the world deserves answers as to what exactly happened last Saturday, July 13th, in Butler, PA, to President Trump. What exactly was going on that day? Because there's a massive amount of people now that believe that the lines we're being fed about what exactly happened is garbage. A whole lot of people that really believe that the narrative that we're being fed is complete trash. Because there's a whole lot of things there that don't make a lot of sense. How do you get this 20-year-old Crooks kid to be able to climb a roof that's 450 feet away from the president, spend a significant amount of time on that roof? Now, the time frames vary, and I'm hearing all sorts of different ranges of time, but he certainly was visible up there. There's video to prove it of spectators that saw the kid up there, and we're trying to alert the police to this. What exactly is going on? How do you have the most state-of-the-art sophisticated technology in the world and have this terrible of a breakdown? How does that happen? It almost defies logic. It really almost defies logic. And it'd be really nice if the FBI, the Secret Service, the White House would have a real serious heart-to-heart with the public and try to explain, like, hey, everybody just relax. This isn't more than what it seems. It was just this guy, this random kid, somehow did it. And explain this. We're not getting any of that. They're not even acknowledging that it's like looked at very suspiciously by a huge part of the population. Right and left alike. Not on the left even are like, yeah, this is odd. Very odd. I don't get it. I mean, like, you know, there's various amounts of time that they say this kid was on the roof. I've heard up to 26 minutes. I don't know if that's accurate or not, I have no idea, but I do know that there's plenty of videos that have surfaced of people yelling about this guy on the roof, telling the police in real time about him, and at the least, there's about a 2-minute period where you know the police have been alerted that there's a man with a rifle on the roof and he's not Secret Service and he's not police, and somehow that information doesn't get to the Secret Service. Because let's say they even had some kind of like a weird engagement type thing where they have to like be shot at first and before they shoot, which I don't think that's the case, but let's just say that's the case. Okay, fair. But then why, once they got that information, wouldn't they immediately take Trump off the stage and get him to a safe location? That didn't happen. Have like at least a 2-minute period where law enforcement knows that there's a guy on the roof with a rifle, and that information isn't told to Secret Service. Look, we've all seen this. We've all seen what happens, what police officers do when they have to radio something in. They've got the radio on their shoulder. They like touch the button on it or whatever and then speak into it. You know, need assistance for whatever, blah, blah, blah. And instantaneously, whoever's on the other end of that gets that information. 2 minutes is plenty of time for the Secret Service to have dealt with this. Once that was relayed to them, you would think that within 15 seconds, maybe, they would immediately rush the stage, immediately like cover him and get him out of there. But nothing of the sort happens. This dude is able to sit there and sit up on that roof, load up his rifle, and take shots at the president. How does that happen? How does that happen? And why are we getting the runaround with different stories every day? At first, this Cheadle woman, the head of Secret Service, she's saying that the slope of the roof was too steep for Secret Service to go on, and yet the Secret Service snipers that were protecting Trump were on evidently a steeper roof. I mean, that's nonsensical. Then you hear stories about how this kid got up from a ladder that he bought at Home Depot. And then the next day you hear that, well, that didn't really actually happen. Then at some point you're hearing that he came in with a truck. And then another time he came in with like a sedan or whatever. Or some other kind of just like 4-door car. We're being told that he was seen about an hour in advance with a rangefinder. Like, you're telling me that there's a sketchy looking character walking around with a rangefinder near an event where the president is soon to be speaking, and that doesn't raise massive red flags, and somehow they lose track of this guy and he's able to somehow get on a roof that, mind you, is 450 feet away from where Trump was speaking. 450 feet is nothing, people. Like, it's nothing. Been following this a little bit, and none of it seems to make sense. None of it does. I do believe this. I truly believe in my heart that God turned Trump's head that day in the very last second so that he would not take that bullet through his head. I really do. I really do. There's deeper things in this world than science can explain. And I hope and pray that he comes closer to God. It seems that he is. In fact, there's a guy that, this is a weird one. There's a guy that foretold this whole thing. He seemed to have foretold this story, I believe back in March. I believe he's a pastor. But he said that he saw a vision from God, if I'm saying this right, where Trump would have a bullet fly like right by his ear. Now in this, he said that he would blow his eardrum out. I don't know that that's happened to Trump or not, but it is very odd. I mean, that a bullet would come so close it would go right by his ear. I mean, technically it went through his ear. All right. But I do believe that our best shot as a nation, our best shot for sure, is to get closer to God, to get closer to Jesus. And that if Trump would really start to go out of his way to speak the name of Jesus Christ publicly and to this nation, and speak of him and speak of his words and his message, I believe that is absolutely the best bet, the best way for this country to turn around, because we are not going in a good direction, and that is for sure, for sure. Scary times, but with God all things are possible. I just hope and pray that Trump really does realize that it was through Christ that that bullet didn't go where it was intended to go. And I just also hope we start to get more answers on this very strange situation that happened last Saturday. So, take care.